Hey everybody, it's Charlotte here from Grit and Gumption. Listen, I have been hanging out here in the house today. It's Sunday afternoon. My husband's been complaining of a backache almost consistently today, right? So I got to thinking and I'm like, let me get my magic book of potions out. Not really, but anyway, so to speak. And I said, let me look some things up and see what I can find. Maybe I could, find something that could help you maybe. So he goes on about his work and I'm looking through my book and oh my gosh, it says Cramp Bark. Cramp Bark. I was like, wow, Cramp Bark, C-R-A-M-P, bark. I look at the pictures, I look at, what it looks like and how to go about using it possibly. And I think, all right, well, I'll just get my coat on and I'll just head on out, see what I can find. Well, I'm going to tell you what, you won't believe it. Hey guys, so this is the part where I go out and I hunt for some cramp bark. And I go through the woods and I see if I can find anything by what I have been shown for a leaf example. And I'm not going to be able to see the flowers because, it's not spring, we're ready to go into winter, so those are already gone. But I got to looking at things. And, the most spectacular things happen when you least expect it. So I was thinking about some things. I looked up some things. Guess what I found? Right behind me here is a cramp bark tree. This tree is also known as the common snowball bush. The big white pretty flowers that are big, look like white snowballs in the spring. They also have a red berry on them that come in clumps. And I hate to admit this, but these are not my favorite tree, right? They're not my favorite tree. They're very dirty and they grow in clumps and they keep on spreading, but they are kind of dirty and they lose a lot of limbs. But I'm going to tell you something. God is so good that he put this tree right here on the tree line for me. It has all of the things in it that I need, as well as a lot of other people. And I will catch you up on that when we go back in and sit by the fire. It's too cold to explain all that out here right now. But I just want you to know that this tiny little tree can provide so many benefits that it would be worth just having one in your backyard, just to grow one anywhere. I mean, put it anywhere. Anyway, how lucky is that for me today? Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I'm going to cut a couple little limbs off and then we'll go back in. See, look here. Here's some limbs down here. And you want the smaller ones, smaller limbs. So I cut some off here, these smaller ones. And I'm going to go ahead and take them inside and start stripping the bark off of them because that's the part that you use. Who would have thought, right? All right, guys, I'll see you in a few by the fire where it's warm. Hey guys, I'm back inside. I wanted to let you know some of the things about cramp bark. There's so much to remember. There's just absolutely no way I could remember it all. So I got my book out that I wanted you to see and check out anyway, because it's been a really great book for me. It's been essential, actually. It helps you do a lot of things that you wouldn't really think to do. And since we're trying to go a little bit more towards herbal medicines and try to get away from, having to get our drugs from, the CVS or wherever, we're going to try to go this route and see how successful it is and try to do it on our own. Cramp bark is also known as Viburnum Opulus. Who knew? I would have just called it the snowball tree because that's all I knew it as. At any rate, the cramp bark grows in woodlands, hedges, and thickets in Europe and eastern North America. It's propagated by seeds sown in autumn. Bark from the branches is collected in the spring and the summer when the plant is in flower. The key actions are it's an antispasmodic, a sedative, astringent, and also a nervine. I wanted you to know that they recommend that you can do a decoction or you can do a tincture with this bark. And what you do is you peel the bark off of the tree, the little limbs that you cut. You peel the bark off of that. I'll show you that. And then you put it in a pot for a decoction, and there's a certain amount that goes along with that. It's like 200 grams is what you start with, and then you end up with about 3/4 of a cup of decoction left. So I'll explain a little bit more about that as we go, but I wanted you to know at least about that, and that, you know, it recommends two different ways to take it. The self-help uses, it says, is back pain, which is why I'm trying it out, because my husband is in a lot of back pain today. Breathing difficulties like asthma and such like that. Cramps, muscle spasms, menstrual pain, poor circulation to the hands and feet, spasmodic constipation, stomach spasms. I could sure use it for the stomach spasms. I have a lot going on in that area, for heaven's sakes. That's a whole nother story. At any rate, a decoction of roots, bark, and twigs and berries usually require a more forceful treatment of getting the things that you need to get from the bark, because it's harder to extract from a flower. It's not as bad, or a root actually, but it's a decoction. That's how you arrive at that anyway. It involves simmering the tougher parts like the bark and such. It requires simmering them, and you start with cold water on top, and you bring it right to a boil, and then you let it simmer for about a half hour or 40 minutes, and then you just let it cool down. And when it's cool enough, you pour it into your jar, which really needs to be a dark tinted jar of some sort, and you can have a cork or a screw lid, whichever you prefer. You just store it standardly in the refrigerator for up to 48 hours. It will keep. So I'm going to get to it and see how this goes, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, guys, I'm back. I wanted to show you that I just brought these limbs that I cut inside, and all I'm going to do actually is start stripping the limb. Start taking the leaves off. I have it here. So I've only got one hand since I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna strip all of the ones down that I have, and I'm gonna start to peel the bark. There's two different ways to go about it. I'm either going to use my pocket knife, or I'm going to use a potato peeler. I'm not sure which one's going to work best, so I will try both, and we'll just go from there. See? There's all the leaves, and there's all the stripped sticks, so we'll go from here. Hey guys, hey, I wanted to show how I'm doing this and how it's working. So I just took a peeler, let it rest on the ground. Oh my gosh, it comes off really easily. And this isn't one of my good peelers. I thought it was my yucky one, and so I thought, well, I'll just try it. Turns out it works out great. I mean, look. And you're gonna want to boil this. So I will let you know how it goes. Hey, you guys. I am finished shredding all of the bark off of my twigs. They're kind of green now. I did use the peeler, and it worked great. I had an old junky one that I didn't really use on my potatoes, and so it worked great. I got like this much product, and actually I was going to weigh it out on my handy dandy scale here, because it wants you to use 20 grams for a decoction, and I don't have near that much. I'm sure I do, probably about half actually. Okay, yes, 9 grams. I have 9 grams. So what I can do with the fact that I only have about half, I can reduce it. It wants you to put 20 grams of product in with 3 cups of cold water. So instead, I'm just going to reduce mine down to like 1.5 cups, and maybe even 1.25, because I'm 1 gram shy. I don't really think that matters. So I probably will just do 1.5 cold water, and I will bring it to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, you turn it to a simmer and let it simmer for a half an hour. So let me get my stuff ready and we'll do that. Okay guys, now I'm gonna mix this all together here. Just gonna throw these in there. And then the 1.5 cups of water, cold water. It also asked for cold water. And then I'm just gonna put it on the stove for a little while, and I'll let you know what happens. Okay guys, remember this needs to stay on the stove until it comes to a boil, and then when it comes to a boil, you need to reduce it down to a simmer and let it sit for 30 minutes, and then let it cool and put it in your bottle. And since we're here, I just took my dinner out of the oven. Let's see. Oh, yum. That's a pork roast. All right, guys, we'll get back to you in a few. Okay, so guys, let me give you some information. 20, no, that's not what it is, standard dosage. If you would have done the full recipe of 20 grams of product and the 3 cups, it would have given you 3 to 4 doses, which would be 2 cups a day. You can take 2 cups of the product a day, however you want, whenever you want. That's 500 milligrams or milliliters, I'm sorry. And you could just store it in the refrigerator, like I said, in a nice cool place. But if you did the 20 grams of the bark and the 3 cups of water, then you reduce it down to 2 cups, and that would be 1 dose. So actually what I made is not even really 1 dose. I will reduce it down to about 3/4 of a cup, actually, almost half. And I'll just let him drink that tonight for his back, and then I will make some more tomorrow. I didn't cut quite enough off, and it's getting late in the evening anyway, so I will make another dose tomorrow for him, the usual 3 cups, but tonight I'm just gonna do what I've already got done, and we'll see how it goes, and I'll let you know if it worked. We will see. Anyway, any questions or comments, check down below, subscribe. We like the subscribers because I know you guys can do this stuff. See ya. Have a good night. Hey everybody, good evening. Hey, I just wanted to do an update with you and let you know that Mike's back is feeling a lot better. He's very happy with the results that he got. He said within 20 to 25 minutes he was feeling relief. So that's a good thing. So I will keep you posted if there's anything else I need to tell you, but seems like it's a win-win. So look for yourself a snowball tree. Get yourself some cramp bark.